Okay, let's start in child's pose. So gentle yoga. This week's theme is again actually a lot of hips because we're coming into our full moon and mid-autumn festival. So I've added in a moon salutation. So we are familiar with sun salutation, but not moon. So moon will pay tribute to our feminine side. So of course for our woman is the hips. So this week will be mainly on that. So we will do strengthening, we will do a flow, and then we have our mandala flow that we've not done for a long time. So if this is your first time doing mandala flow, it will be interesting. It's quite meditative, and some of us really do enjoy the mandala flow. So it's also called the 360 where we move around the mat. So if you've got two mats and arrange in a cross, if you don't, doesn't matter as long as you've got the space to go around. But today we'll just get our body moving, get ourselves warm, and just prepare our hips for the rest of the week. So we'll start in child's pose. So perfect place to start for the hips. So whether if you prefer the knees wide or if you prefer the closed balasana with your shoulders behind, maybe your shoulders feel sore, it's up to you. So take your pick and let's settle down on our mat for a bit here. So forehead down, get comfortable, hips towards your heels, and then let yourself ground in, settle in. Scanning body, coming down your breath, slowing down your mind, and then bringing all three together onto the mat today. So allow your hips to get heavy and allow your breath to be deeper. And then of course, if you wish to take an open mouth exhale to let go of any stress and tension, busy mind, just leaving it outside the mat for this hour where you've taken for yourself, for your body, for your mind, for your breath. And if you wish, you can always let it go with an audible sigh, just to really let your body to settle, your mind. A couple more breaths here. Just really taking this moment to settle. Now slowly on your next inhale, if you're in just a standard knees wide child's pose and your palms facing down, let's turn your thumb up towards the ceiling, noticing your shoulders here. And then continue to flip the palm up, so thumbs dropping out. So again, it will depend on each body here. So maybe for some of us, you can get the thumb closer if you've got more open shoulders here. So we're really taking the shoulders in towards an internal rotation here. And then allow the thumbs to fall back. And then two more times like this. Thumbs face up. And then let it drop over to the outside here. So maybe you start filling in towards your shoulders here. Just a gentle warm up. Moving with your breath. Inhale, thumb face up. As you drop thumbs out. And feel the shoulders roll in or the shoulder blades roll in. And then exhale, bring it back through original position. And then slowly walk yourself up. Coming into Vajrasana, so bringing your knees, thighs together, sitting up nice and tall. Again, you have an option to slot a block between, sort of to take some weight off the knee if it's comfortable for your knee. Let's inhale, arms parallel facing each other. Bring your palms and interlock and then just roll out the wrists first. So bending the elbows slightly, changing directions. And then releasing your palms on towards your shoulders. Let's make some shoulder circles. We're going to warm up in towards the shoulders. So take the effort as you roll out, however big or small your circle. Let the elbows meet in front of you, touching. And then bringing it behind you about 3 to 5 rounds. And then changing the opposite direction here, rolling that shoulders. And then coming back through center, extend your arms up in front again. So let your palms come together. And then bring it over. And then roll that back out. And then exhale, come back through center. And then turn your palms together. Bring your elbows together, give it a squeeze. Lift up the shoulders, and immediately you feel that back of your shoulder blades working here. And then slowly release, open up the chest, cactus up your arm, feel the release, squeeze the shoulder blades together. And then bring the right elbow on the left, opening again in towards the shoulder, single or double bind, or you can hug your elbows in towards your shoulder blades here. So palms together, inhale to lift, exhale to round it in. Couple more times this way, inhale, lift, exhale, round. Finishing up your last one, inhale, lift up the elbow, maybe feeling okay to come into a back bend, and then exhale, bring the elbow down, really cat your back, and then inhale, come back to neutral, release your bind if you have it, extend the palms in front of you, and then turn the palms in towards each other, interlock your finger and bring it in towards your chest. If this is already a big like a twist to your wrist, stay here. If you got the space, the flexibility of your wrist, then extend it out, maybe straighten out the elbow. So a big twist in towards the wrist. So go as far as the wrist feels comfortable, a big sort of ring out in towards the forearm, the muscle above your ulnar and your radius here. And then gently release, come back to center, shake out your wrist, shake out your shoulders, opposite side. So inhale, in front, palms together, interlock, push the palms away, round that back again. Inhale, come back through center, release as you take your left arm under your right, in towards eagle, single or double, or continue to place your palms on your shoulder blades and roll it in. So 3 rounds in total. Inhale if you got your arms in the eagle, lift your elbows up, maybe a gentle back bend, and then exhale, roll the elbows in, round that back. One last time, inhale up, exhale, bring it in. And then on your next inhale, back to center, neutral, release your palms, face it forward, and then flip the palms towards each other. So now you got your right arm above left, bring it in underneath, through, either stay here if that wrist again it's too much, or if you got the space, extend it out straight, shoulder level, big twist on towards the right wrist. Breathe here just for a couple of breaths. You can stay midway. And then exhale, gently release, shake out your shoulders. And then let's come into tabletop. Once you're in tabletop, the wrist should feel nice and ready. Stack your hips above your knees, shoulders above your wrists, and then just roll through a few rounds of cat-cow, warming up in towards the spine here. About 3 to 5 rounds. You're going to be slower if you add any other organic movement to it, or if you're just going through straight cat-cow, maybe you can come into 5 rounds here. And then finishing up your last set wherever you are. And then we're going to thread the needle, continue to open up in towards the shoulders. So come back to neutral, keep your core engaged. Inhale, right arm's going to reach up. Exhale, we're going to thread it through over to the left side. Let's sink your right shoulder down. Move your left shoulder under your elbow to give yourself the support, staying here as you roll the left shoulder back. You can come into a half bind if that works. Roll the left elbow back if you're in the half bind. Keep the hips square towards the center. Point the elbow towards the sky. And then exhale, gently release. You're going to turn yourself forward. We're not moving that shoulder away. So you're sort of trying to square yourself and walk the left shoulder forward. So you have a nice compression on the right hips. It's still facing up to the sky, but you're squaring your torso, so you're going to turn the left shoulder down. So nice stretch on the front of the right arm.
and a compression here. So maybe you're lifted quite high. If you can lower the chest closer down, you're going to feel a nice stretch here. So just changing the stretch slightly differently here. Before we're going to release, walk the left palm back up. Inhale, right arm thread back. And then exhale, gently release, placing the right palm down over to the left side. So inhale, left arm up. Exhale, thread it under, reaching all the way over to the right side. Again, taking the position that feels best for you. Shift the hips slightly back towards center so that you feel a nice stretch down the left arm across the waist over to the right top hip bone here. And then change your right arm if you prefer to walk it forward, pointing up to the sky or coming into the half bind. Again, it differs side to side, so one side may be tighter. You may adjust according to yourself. And then just continue to breathe nice and deep. And then we'll do that stretch where we sort of turn our shoulders or our chest square. Now slowly on your next inhale, just pulling yourself up and sort of turn the right shoulder down, walk your palms forward and let your chest sink in. So square off that shoulders and roll that right shoulder down, and then feel that big stretch from the top of the left shoulder down the left arm. And then slowly you're going to walk the right palm back underneath you. Inhale, left arm reaches up. And then exhale, gently release your palms down. Come back through, maybe a cat-cow if that feels good. And then we're going to take our blocks to stretch out our triceps here. So lots of work on the top half of our body, in towards our spine, in towards our shoulders. Either V shape or you can have them parallel. And then you're going to place your elbows right in the middle. Palms together, and then let your chest sink down as you bring your palms, your thumbs to the top of your upper back. Press in towards the elbow and let your chest deep down so that you can feel a nice contraction between the shoulder blade, a nice stretch to the back of the arm. Maybe crack some, air pockets out at the same time. And then staying here, breathing, or any subtle movement that feels good to release any tension from the shoulder blades, from the shoulders, from the triceps. 2 more breaths here. Now slowly release your palms down. Remove your blocks away as you walk up to stand on your knees actually, not your left knees only. So when you come up to stand, you can keep the back toes tucked or untucked. Keep the line where your legs is under your hips or hip width distance. And then inhale, you're going to lift your arms up. Let's cactus and sort of hips forward into sort of like a camel, a gentle camel. And then inhale, reaching up. Exhale, let's slide the right palm down the leg. And then side bend. So we usually do it seated, standing, but never kneeling. So if it feels sensitive on the knee, you can always roll out the mat 1 more layer, or you can bring something underneath it. Now inhale, come back through center. Exhale, left arm slides down the left leg. Side bend over to the right. Keep your hips stacked over your knee. So if your butt starts sticking out, bring it back forward. Slight pelvic tilt. And then inhale, come back through center. You're going to shift your weight towards the left, and let's extend the right leg out, long in towards a gate pose here. So inhale, left arm lift. Exhale, slide the right palm down the right leg. Breathing here, nice and deep. Coming in towards sort of our gate pose, side plank, modified side plank. We're going to inhale, come back up. Exhale, drop the left palm down. Raise your right arm to frame your right ear. Hips slightly forward so you feel this nice extension and the length on the right side. Nice deep breath here. 2 more times like this. So inhale, lifting up in towards your gate. So use a bit of the obliques. Come back through center and then drop the left palm down. Reach your right arm over and frame your right ear. Inhale, coming back up. Exhale, side bend back in towards the right side. Last one on your modified side plank. Drop your left palm down. Reach your right arm all the way over. And then this time we're going to come up into baby side angle. So inhale, coming back up.
turn the right leg towards the right side, bend in towards your right knee, right elbow on top of the right thigh, reach the left arm over. So feel the opening here in towards your inner thigh. Maybe take the knee past the ankle if it feels all right. And then inhale, slowly come back through center. Bring the knee back in next to your left, and then we're going to change sides. So shift your weight to the right, extend your left leg out. Make sure the left leg is in line with the hips here. And then starting with your Parigasana gate pose. Feel the nice extension on the side body, and then release in towards your modified side plank. Blocks underneath your palm if you can't reach the floor is welcome. Inhale, coming back up, 2 more rounds like this. Move with your breath. Release, modified side plank. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, side bend. So last time on this modified side plank here, and then we're coming up in towards our baby side angle. So inhale, lifting up, use your obliques, turn the knee, bend into your left, elbow on your left side, and then sink down towards your left knee. Reach over your right, roll the right shoulder down, feel the nice stretch in the inner thigh here. And then again, you can sink it past the ankle. And then inhale, we're going to come back through, take the knee to point front, and then bring the knee back, and then lower yourself back down in towards your tabletop. Maybe move through a cat-cow if that's all right. And then let's move the knees slightly behind your hips, and then preparing to come down onto our belly. So as you bend your elbow, make sure your elbow eye turns forward, and you're bending the elbow behind you. Let it brush past your ribs, and then slowly release down. You're going to push up in towards sort of a cobra, but bending the knee in. So you can come out halfway, you can stay low with the knees bent if the arms are giving you problem, or if you want to get in a bit towards the arm strength, then push yourself up. And then you're going to sink back in towards an active child's pose. Keep the toes together, tug as you shift your hips back. So 2 more times like this. So you're inhaling, coming forward in towards this tabletop. Sink your hips down, bend the elbow, let it slide past your ribs. Come all the way down, bend your knees as you pull up. You can come into a baby cobra, or all the way up into a sort of a back bend, and then shift back in towards your child's pose. So one last time together. So inhale, spinal roll forward. You can move in a smooth motion. Inhale, come up in towards your back bend of choice. You can point the toes, and then we all meet in our active child's pose. Straighten out the spine, make any movement that feels good. Feel the length there, and a bit of a head building up in towards the shoulders, and then slowly this time we're going to slide all the way forward, coming down on towards our belly. Release your legs nice and long behind you. Position your arms as you lift up in towards Sphinx pose. So forearms are parallel, as wide as your shoulders. Feet could be as wide as your mat. You can move the elbows slightly forward if your lower back is giving you some issues here. So we're going to come into Funky Cobra, continue to open up in towards the back body, a couple of locusts. We're not going to do too much, but at least some strengthening in the back line. So you're going to wing your elbows up, lower your chin or your forehead down to rest in Makrasana. And you're welcome to bend the knee in and windshield wiper side to side just to get in towards the lower back, preparing for what's coming up. Some back strengthening here. So coming back through center, release your feet down, walk your arms outside your mat. So make it nice and wide as long as comfortable, in the same line as your shoulders. Tense your fingers, and on your inhale, roll the shoulders back, press up. Doesn't matter how high you go. Again, it depends on the lower back. And then exhale, chest down. 2 more times like this. Inhale, roll the shoulders back. Neck is long. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, gently release. On the last one, we're going to come up for the shoulder dip. So inhale, lifting all the way up. Let's dip the right shoulder down. Look towards the left. Inhale, come back up center. Dip the left shoulder. Look towards the back of your mat on the right. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale, gently release. Place your palms down. Come back to crocodile or Makrasana. Bend your knees in. And windshield wiper to release out your back here. Now slowly come back through center. You're going to bring your arms behind you. Interlock your fingers. Make a fist. Pull the fist down and inhale. Lift up your body. Lift up your legs. Coming into Shalambhasana, locust pose. For 3, 2, and 1. Gently release again. Coming back to Makrasana. If you want, windshield wiper or just catch your breath here. So back bend, your heart rate, your heart pressure, and your breath will go up. So soothe it back, coming back to normal as we strengthen this back line of our body. One last time, you're going to bring your arms behind you, interlock your finger the opposite way, so the other thumb above, and then pull the fist down, squeeze the shoulder blades. Inhale, lift everything up. So maybe you're balancing on your pelvis, your belly. Keep squeezing for 3, 2, and 1. Gently release, coming back to your resting pose here, Makrasana. And breathe. Bring your breath to normal, shoulders away from your ears. And then let's come back up on towards your elbow. Turn your right arm in, bend the left knee as you reach behind you to stretch in towards your quads here. So squeeze the foot in towards your glutes. You can bend your elbow facing forward, or you can reach this way. Again, it depending on your own flexibility of your joints. And try to keep your hips, so don't lift the hips up. And then of course, if you square off your shoulders, it's going to be a nice stretch on your shoulders here. Now slowly release over to the opposite side. Left elbow turns in, bend the right leg in, catch hold of your foot, your ankle, or you can do an active stretch. Again, it depends on you. And feel that nice release in towards the quads. Stretching, lengthening back out that front line of your body here. And then slowly, gently release, coming back through. Let's push back in towards a child's pose at the back of your mat. So you can keep this one, toes untucked, as you sink your hips back, releasing out your back here. Take a couple of breaths from the back bends to slow down your heart rate and return back to where we were. And then we'll start moving a bit, building up some heat, some gentle movement, nothing too major. Now slowly on your next inhale, coming back up, we're going to join in downward facing dog. So walk your palms forward, tuck your toes under, lift up your hips. And maybe pad out your legs in this first downward facing dog. We haven't opened up into the hamstring. So notice the difference. Maybe you feel it, the back line in your back body. Your arms would definitely be warmer here, but definitely not your hamstring yet. And we'll change that a bit in the next movement. We'll do some standing poses. So if you want, you can lift up your heels, sink it back down. Maybe even spine a roll forward. And then lifting the hips back up, sort of building up hip or heat. And then we'll meet in the front of the mat. So once you're ready, on your next inhale, walk or step to the front of your mat. Coming in towards ragdoll, so catch hold opposite elbow, bend deep into your knee, take your chest towards your thighs, and then maybe just sway side to side, releasing the spine, releasing any tension. Before coming into stillness, release your fingertips down to the ground and breathe here for one breath. Maybe shake out your head, yes, no, releasing any tension in the shoulders, the neck. And then slowly on your next inhale, vertebrae by vertebrae, roll yourself up, coming into Tadasana. So neck and head will be the last to come out as you roll your shoulders back, close down your eyes. Turn your palms to face forward, so notice the difference here. Early on, we started our child's pose. We were doing sort of an internal rotation on the shoulders. Here, we externally rotate. So turn the thumbs out away from you and let the shoulders roll back. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, press into your feet. Breathing here nice and deep. So like I said, today we're going to open up the hips because this week is all about hips with our moon salutation, mandala flow. It's full moon, it's mid-autumn, so we're going to celebrate that feminine side. So our Ida, not our Pingla, or in Chinese it's our yin, not our yang. So this week is all about hips. So let's work in towards the hips. Let's inhale, blink your eyes open, arms over your head. Let's pick up your right leg, shift your weight to the left, squeeze the right knee in. Interlock your finger on top of that right knee, just giving that hip a squeeze before releasing. Cross the right ankle over your left knee, sinking down in towards a figure four. Nice deep breath here. So start feeling the hip opening. The gravity is going to help to pull the right thigh, right knee away from you. Just one breath here. Start feeling the heat building up around the hip area. And then inhale, we're going to straighten out both legs as you cross the right leg on top of your left. Inhale, arms over your head. Exhale, sinking in towards your forward fold. So as I said, we're going to wake up the hamstring here. So if you need, you can have a block underneath here if this is early on. If your hands or fingers can't reach the ground. Can bend into both knees as maybe let your crown fall here. One more breath. Now on your next inhale, coming into a halfway lift, fingertips on the ground. Press into your left foot as you release the right leg long behind you. Bend deep into your left knee, drop your right foot back, drop your right knee down. We're coming up in towards Anjayasana here. Inhale, sink in towards your Anjayasana. Exhale, we're going to do a twist, so hands come into prayer. Let's bring the right elbow outside right knee. Press the palm together, working in towards this prayer twist. So push against the elbow, lift the chest to meet your palms as best as you can. Bring the left elbow down, look towards the back of your mat. Nice deep breath here. Now slowly inhale, we're going to turn our head forward. Release your palms down, shift your hips back in towards a half splits, Ardha Hanuman. So flex into that foot, toes pointing towards you. Notice how the hips feel at this point here. Breathing nice and slow. So nothing too major at this point. We're just warming up the legs. Nice deep breath. And then we're going to come up slightly higher. So re-bend in towards the left knee. You can take your block with you. Tuck your right toes. Lift up in towards our runner's lunge. So you can stay stillness or move forward and back. Just getting the right hip and the right hip flexor warm up before we extend this left leg straight, coming in towards modified pyramid. So keep your back flat if you're still high above, away from your chest, away from your thigh, or if you've got the space, fold it in, bend the elbow. Nice deep breath here. Now slowly on the next inhale, re-bend into your left knee. If you want here, you can take a block here. We're going to shift into Skandasana. So we have not gone into Skandasana a long time. We're preparing our hips. So you're going to start turning the left foot, sort of diagonal, spin the right foot down. Sink over towards the left knee. You can quickly slot the block under to support you. So you're coming into a big internal or inner thigh stretch on the right thigh and a big stretch here on the left thigh over the left knee. So you can sit up high. If it means if you're coming up here, you can use it to lift yourself higher, whichever feels good. You can use the block as a support, or you can do without the block and the heels can come down or stay up. So wherever you are, breathe here as we open up in towards the inner thigh. Hands can come down if you want to open up your shoulders. Right arm reaches up. You can even come into a half bind, open up the shoulders here. Breathe in towards the right inner thigh, which is going to feel lots of sensation there. So we're gradually opening up in towards this hips. Getting ready, there'll be plenty of Skandasana coming this week, so this is a nice prep to open, whether you've got a block, you're supported, whichever way you are. We're going to drop down on towards the left hip, so if you've got your block under, slip it out. So allow yourself to drop down in towards the hip here. Spin this left knee in. We're going to turn to the back of the mat here. So getting used to move around the mat. So you're seeing my back. Left thigh comes in towards your left. If this is too much to bend the knee, you can turn it into Janu Sirsasana, left foot in the inner thigh. If this is okay for you, stay here. We're coming into a gentle fold here. Hands can frame your thigh as you bring yourself chest over your right thigh. Notice the stretch in the lower back here and the big stretch in the left thigh if you're in the original configuration, or if you're in Janu Sirsasana, you're still going to feel a nice stretch under that right hamstring. One more breath here. Now inhale, slowly raise up. You're going to release the left foot, let it cross outside of your right thigh. Sitting up for a half Lord of the Fishes twist, either hugging the right arm in towards the left thigh, or you can hook the elbow outside the left, and then left palm place. Inhale to lift, exhale to twist as you pick back towards the front of the mat. Keep flexing into the right foot, breathe here, and feel that nice twist. So we're going to counter this twist also. So slowly inhale, head back center. Exhale, reach the arm to the opposite side. Press the elbow in towards the knee, and then rotate or revolve the shoulders behind so that you're trying to expose the right side of your chest. Breathing here, nice and deep. We're going to swing around back towards the front of the mat. So inhale, release the leg, release the palms up. So you're going to step the left foot back next to your left thigh. Place your palms down. Lift yourself up in towards pigeon. So we did the flip. So left knee towards left wrist, sink back here. Squaring yourself towards the front of the mat. We're going to sink down and hold. So we are doing lots of different stuff. Still gentle, not as heavy as usually we do in a flow. We're moving nice and slow. We're holding longer in each pose, like a nice slow stretch, but we're moving. So we're not done here. We're going to go back to the back of the mat and start this all over again on the other side. And then, of course, on the second round, I think we've got time. We'll move faster so you're familiar with the flow. So sort of getting used to moving around the mat a bit. So we went from front to back and then back to front. So wherever you are, sleeping pigeon, or you're doing any other variation, feel how the hips is, because we really open up in Skandasana in this front left hip. So we're going to do the right on the next round. So one more breath here. Now slowly walk your palms back under your shoulders, tuck your right toes. You can shift the right knee in, and then we're going to kick that left leg behind us, coming in towards a three-legged dog. And since we're here, let's bend the knee, open up the hips if that feels good. And then slowly release, come back to your regular downward facing dog. Paddle out the legs, notice the difference from side to side. The left hamstring is going to feel longer, the left hip is going to feel warmer. And then on your next inhale, bend your knees, walk or step forward towards the front of the mat. Inhale for your halfway lift. Exhale, we fold. So again, notice the difference. So maybe the left leg feels longer than the right. We're going to balance it up again in the next round. So on your inhale, roll yourself up, coming back in towards Tadasana. Turn your palms out, close your eyes down, and let this moment to absorb what's happened in that first round. And then you know where we're going. So second round should be nicer and easier, I hope. Now let's inhale, blink your eyes, open arms over your head, shift your weight over to the right leg. You're going to pick up your left knee in towards your chest. Interlock your finger, catch hold that left knee, give it a squeeze. Figure four. So left ankle, right knee. Hands can come into prayer as you bend that knee, sink your hips down, flex into the left foot. Let the gravity. So this side should be more open because we're really open on this side. So bend a bit deeper. We're going to slide this left foot down the right in towards our forward fold. So you're going to feel it in your right hamstring. So on your next inhale, straighten out. Slide the left leg down in front of your right. Inhale, arms over your head, trying your best to square off the hips. And then exhale, hinge from the waist. And then slowly come down towards a fold here. So again, have your blocks handy to assist you whenever you need them. And then just fold, let your crown be heavy. Feel that big stretch in both sides here. Right from the sit bones down the back line of that leg. So preparing to come in towards sort of a warrior three transition to come into Anjali Asana. So inhale for your halfway lift.
Press into your right foot, release your left leg out long behind you. Deep bend into your right knee, drop the left foot back, sink your left knee down, and then inhale, we are up in Anjayasana. So everything can be nice and slow, step by step, as you sink here in towards your Anjayasana. Prayer twist, so hands come into prayer. Exhale, left elbow outside the right knee, or if you have trouble getting the cross, you can use a block and place it on top, and you're still twisting here as you trying to get more twist as you practice more and more. So maybe one day you'll reach it, but you can use that block to assist you. You're getting the same effect. Bring the right elbow in, push the palms together as you rotate your chest towards your palms. Breathing here, nice and deep. Back leg can be tug or untug. And then we're going to release back forward in towards our half split. So inhale, chest back to center. Release your palms to frame your right foot. Shift your hips back, flex into that right, and sink in towards your half splits. So feel that release from that big twist and that stretch in towards the right outer hip. Left hip square on top of your left knee. Flex into your right foot. Breathe here. Nice deep breath. So we're coming up in towards a runner's lunge, in towards a modified pyramid, getting that leg ready. We're going to sink into Skandasana after this. So let's inhale, rebend that right knee, pick up your left toes, and then lift your left knee, preparing for your runner's lunge. Blocks help, give it more space. So use them, so don't be shy of them. More like overuse them would be better. So either staying still, shifting, preparing that hip, preparing that back leg, that hip flexor as we flip into the inner thigh after this. So let's extend the right leg straight, modified pyramid, staying up high or folding deeper, really getting that right leg ready this time. So breathing nice and deep. And then we're going to start to flip into Skandasana. So on your inhale, you're going to rebend into your right knee, turn the foot towards the leftmost corner, flip the left leg down. If you got your block, just slide it under first, and then you can always come up to it after if you feel that hip, that inner thigh is getting ready, because it's a deep pose Skandasana. So external rotation on both, heels down, toes up. If you are here sinking down, you can still get that nice stretch and opening into that thigh. And then maybe you can try the next step to have a block under, or you can stretch in towards the shoulders, or whichever you feel like at this point. Mainly we want is the hips to open here. So wherever you are, a couple of breaths, and then we'll sink, we'll stretch back towards the front. So as we get familiar back into Skandasana, we've not done it for a long time. And then we sort of move around the mat in this round, not really officially, but by the time we reach a Thursday, or is it Friday, we will do our mandala flow. Now slowly you're going to sink the hips down, turn the knee in. Oh, I can feel it in my inner thigh. Bring it close to your left thigh, or Janu Shashasana this way if it feels better for that leg or the knee. You're going to inhale, lift up, exhale, we fold over the left. So again, it may not be a deep fold. For me, my right inner groin here is always troubling. So I'm going to force myself as long as I feel a nice stretch under that left hamstring, flexing the toes towards your face. And then we're going to sort of release in towards our twist and then turn our way back towards the front of the mat. Now inhale, slowly rise up. You're going to release that right knee, cross the right foot outside the left thigh in towards a half Lord of the Fishes twist. Hugging, right palm behind you or hooking your elbow, and then deepening in towards the twist here. So full body move in towards the inner thigh, back line, twist, shoulders, waist. So breathing nice and deep, and then we'll counter stretch here. So if you've got the space, wring out that spine, and then on the inhale, head back center, exhale, arms over to the opposite side, elbow push against that right knee as you revolve the left shoulder back, left chest forward, or left chest towards the opposite side. And then slowly, you're going to turn yourself back. So if you have the leg crossed, place it back. Both palms starts to come towards the front. Tuck the left toes.
right knee comes up. So it's like almost like the three-legged plank. Place your right knee down next to your right wrist as we sink in towards a sleeping pigeon. So square off your hips as best as you can and then slowly roll it down. So we're finishing on this side and then we'll run through quickly without holding the whole sequence. So sort of an intro in towards round the mat mandala, and then moon salutation is also similar, a lot of open hips, so goddess pose. So if you're not done moon salutation, welcome. We'll do that tomorrow. So we're preparing our hips little by little. Just a few breaths here in this sleeping pigeon, holding steady, or you can shift side to side. And then we'll come back in towards downward facing dog. Couple more breaths here. Now slowly walk your hands up. If you're not in sleeping pigeon, doesn't matter, as long as you feel nice open in hip. Tuck the toes, maybe shift the knee forward so that you can press into your palm, kick the right leg back. For your three-legged dog, open up the hip in the meantime if that feels good. And then release out your right leg, coming back in towards your regular downward facing dog. On your next inhale, bend your knees, walk or step forward towards the front of the mat. Inhale for your halfway lift. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, rising all the way. So straight away, we're going to start the 2 rounds. So shift your weight towards the left. Bring the right knee in. Give it a squeeze. Coming into figure 4. Anchor on top of your knee. Sink down. Get your balance. And then inhale, come back up. So 1 movement, 1 breath. Sink the right leg down. Inhale, arms over your head, square off your hips. Exhale, hinge from the waist, coming into your forward fold. Inhale for your halfway lift, fingertips down on the ground or on the block. Weight onto your left leg, kick your right leg back, bend deep into your left knee. Let the right foot drop behind you, drop the right knee down. Inhale, come up to Anjasana. Exhale, prayer twist over to the left side, elbow outside the knee. Twist and look behind you. And then inhale, turn back through center. Hands come down, shift in towards half splits. Just 1 breath here. And then on your next inhale, re-bend into your right knee, hands down or blocks. Lift up for your runner's lunge. And then shifting back in towards your modified pyramid. Now bend into your left knee, spin and turn into 1 round in towards your Skandasana. You can keep your hands there. You can slide it, be mobile, and then on your next exhale, take the block out, shift your hips down, turn your knee in. You can place your block back where it was. Coming in towards a forward fold over your right leg. Inhale, coming back up. Take your knee out, cross it over. Preparing for your twist, whichever variation, maybe you did one the other time, maybe try another one this round, and just checking out how it feels. Inhale, come back to center, turn over the opposite side for your counter twist. And then releasing your leg as you turn back, flip your palms back towards the front, spin, kick, settle, in towards your pigeon. So this time we're not going to sink into sleeping pigeon. Instead, we're going to come up high in towards the hips and just build up a bit of strength, maybe on the fingertips. Maybe you can lift yourself up into a sort of a prayer, but you're balancing off the front thigh. You're using your hip muscle to lift yourself high. And then slowly tuck your toes. Get ready to kick back in towards your 3-legged dog. Left leg kicks behind you. Open up the hip. Releasing, coming back through center. 1 breath in down dog. And then on your next inhale, bend your knees, stepping forward. 2nd round on the 2nd side. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, rising all the way up. Straight away, shifting your weight to the right side. Left knee squeeze in. Maintain your balance. Hold your strong stance here. Remember to breathe. Coming into figure 4. Bend that knee and sink your hips down. Flex into your left foot. Inhale, rising up, squeeze the knee down, straighten out your legs. Inhale, arms over your head. Exhale, hinge from your waist, coming in towards your forward fold. Inhale for your halfway lift. Exhale, fingertips down, or you can get your block ready. Press into your right foot, kick your left leg back. Deep bend in towards your right knee as your left foot reaches back. Bend the right knee, lower the left knee down. Inhale, come up, Anjasana. Exhale, prayer twist over to the opposite side, left elbow outside right knee. Twist and turn. On your next inhale, come back through center, shift your hips back. You can have your hands down, you can do it hands free, in towards your half splits. Breathe here and then maybe fold over this right leg as you feel slightly warmer. As we re-bend, inhale, right knee bends, pick up your left knee. You can use your hands on the block. And just transitioning through here, straighten out your right knee in towards your modified pyramid. Exhale, bend and fold over your right leg. Spin up as you inhale, bend into your knees, spin in towards your Skandasana. Let the hips sink down. You can have your block, slide it under, whichever way you prefer. Inhale to lift up. Exhale to sink the hips down. Flip the right knee in. Inhale, arms over your head. Exhale, we fold over the left leg. So I don't know you, but it's not as torture if we move through it fast. It's torture when we hold. So inhale, coming back up, release the right foot, cross it outside the left thigh. Coming in towards your version of the twist, hug or hook. Inhale, lift, exhale, twist. Maintain your breath here, so straight away, inhale, we come back through center, exhale, counter twist over to the opposite side. And then come back through center, unhook your leg on the outside, turn your palms to face the front, pick your hips up, swing the right knee towards your right wrist, and then sink in towards your slightly halfway between a active pigeon. So back toes is tucked for this one, but your hips up, so you square towards the front. Hands can stay down or hands can come free, just holding a bit using some of your hip muscle here. And then for this round, we're not coming back through center, we're coming to a sit, so let the right hip drop. Let's swing the left leg in front for your Gomukhasana as we slow down and cool down. And that's the end of our gentle flow. So we'll build up on that, we'll play around with sort of the sequence. Most of it was Skandasana, lots of goddess, hips opening. So Gomukhasana to close back down the hips, so shift until you get your both sit bones grounded. You can add your eagle if you wish, or you can add your Gomukhasana, or just fold over those thighs. Shoulders away from your ears, let your breath come back and slow down. So maybe it's picked up as we sort of went around the mat and come back towards the front here. Take a few nice deep breaths here as you sort of ground back down and slow back down. Now slowly on your next inhale, coming back up. You're going to release the legs here. Either just lean back and then do a flip, or you can do the stand up, which we will play. So if you want to do the stand up, we will do it probably later in the week, whereby you sort of pull yourself up, coming to stand, and then walk in a clockwise. Don't get giddy. Come back to the front, re-bend your knee, drop your knees back. So more complicated and giddy, or you can just lean back and flip back. So it's up to you. So if you want a little bit more workout, then you can do the standing and the walking around. So anyway, now your right leg is stacked over the left. Choose your arm and then come in towards a fold. You should feel it nice on the hips here. So there, if you did the walk around, you need to slow back your heart rate and then sort of get your head back steady because you did a walk around. You may be slightly giddy from the turn. So take your time. Nice deep breath here. Now slowly on your next inhale, coming back up, we'll do a figure 4 from here. So lean back and then slide the left leg. This time you got your right ankle on top of your left knee. Feel the difference versus the standing versus the seated. Palms can stay behind. You can slide it through to hug your chest closer, whichever version feels better for you. And then we're going to come down to sort of a similar position to stretch out our hips, our thighs, and come on our back. So we've not come on our back yet today. Now slowly release that foot down, windshield wiper. So move your feet nice and wide and just let your knees drop from side to side. Over to the other side, so rock your right foot back in, cross the left ankle, either staying here with your arms supported, chest forward, flex into the left foot, or you can thread your arm through to come deeper in towards this hip here. Couple more breaths and then we'll be on our back for the last few minutes. Now slowly help that leg down. If you want, windshield wiper again. And then if you won't want to work on your core, then come down, slowly roll that back as slow as you want, or just grind down, it's up to you. Once you're down on your back, hug your thighs in towards your chest and just give yourself a roll side to side, noticing how your whole body feels after that round. So sometimes moving around the mat is quite invigorating, it's quite meditative. So some of us do enjoy sort of a mandala around the world flow. Nice deep breath here. Now let the left foot drop, cross the right ankle back on top of your left knee like you're coming into a figure 4. Let the leg drop over to the left side here, blocks out the way. Keep the knee pointing up, left hand reaches towards the right ankle. Right arm can extend in towards this twist, opening in towards the right side. If you want to have a nice stretch into the left quad, you can reach your right arm for that left foot and then bring it in towards the glutes, so you're making sort of a pretzel shape. So right knee pointing up, right arm reaches for the foot, bringing it close so you have a nice stretch on the left quad. So two things is happening. You're bringing the foot in towards the glute, you're pushing the right thigh away, and your shoulders and chest is square down. So breathing here, nice and deep. And then on your next exhale, you're going to release. If you're holding one foot or both feet, release it and let the right leg slide under the left, coming in towards a spinal twist. Right arm extend again. Look towards the right fingertips. Left hand can guide the right knee closer down, feeling a nice twist here. A few more breaths. And then we're going to count the twist again. So you're going to release, bring the knees back up, let the knees drop over to the right side. Left arm extend, look towards the left fingertips. And then notice the difference. So this side, your left side will be more open. Openness here in towards the left side of the belly, down the left or up the left lungs. Nice opening here in the left pecs. And then slowly inhale, bring yourself back to center and cross your right leg. This time, cross the left ankle on top of the right knee. And then on the exhale, let the foot and the knee drop over to the right with the left knee pointing up. Right hand reaches towards your right ankle, so you may have to walk it in further up the right thigh. And then either stay here to look towards the left fingertips, or if you want to have a nice quad stretch, left hand reach for your right foot. Bring it towards your glutes. So squeeze here, and then you're pushing the left thigh away. And then feel the pops and cracks, because my spine is just popping and cracking in this position here. So square off your chest, your shoulders up towards the ceiling. Breathe nice and deep. So few sensations popping up here. Twisting into the spine. Nice stretch from the top of the left hip bone up that thigh, and then from the pelvis, stretch down the front of your right quad. One more breath here. So again, 1 or 2 foot or feet that you're holding, release them. You're going to slide the left foot under the right thigh for a spinal twist. Extend the left arm out. Then use the right hand to guide the knee towards the ground. And of course, if there's other variation of a twist you prefer, anything else you wish to do here before we move towards Shavasana, please do. So only you will know what feels good here towards the end that your body needs. And then once you're ready, you're going to release, come back to center, opposite twist. So you're going to drop the knees over to the opposite side. Feel the different extension now from the top of the right hip down or up towards the right armpit. Look towards the right. And then slowly on your next inhale, bring your knees back to center. Bring them in for a hug. And then full happy baby if you wish at this point, if that feels good for your hips. And give yourself a lower back, a nice massage as you sort of flop side to side. Maybe even allowing the knees to drop to one side, touching the ground. Coming back, let the opposite knee drop on the opposite side. Couple more breaths here, or if you're ready, we'll all meet in Shavasana. So once you're in Shavasana, take up space, feet as wide as the mat, if not wider, palms facing up, let your shoulders droop, and your neck is nice and long, your face in a gentle expression as your eyes close, and just release, let your body be heavy. And take these few moments for yourself to sort of absorb your practice, let the practice settle in your body. So you're welcome to stay here for longer. So Shavasana usually is the most difficult pose because most of us can't stay still for too long. If you stay still too long, you may fall asleep or your mind will get busy and go elsewhere. So it's always a good practice if you tend to be more of the busy mind of a Pitta, a dosha, then Shavasana will be a good place to practice. So if you're ready, let's join me in the front of the mat. With your eyes still closed, palms on your knees, roll your shoulders back. And just taking these few moments to honor your body, your practice, your breath, yourself. And I honor your presence here with me, allowing me to guide you. And I hope to see you for the rest of the week. Namaste.